Okay, good morning, everyone, or afternoon, I guess I should say. We're going to go ahead and start this course. I am so excited to teach this. So just so you know, my name is Janalee McBride. I work at the FamilySearch Library in Salt Lake. I'm one of the US and Canada research specialists. Absolutely love working at the library and love what I do. And I'm so excited today to show you guys about the catalog and give you some of the latest updates. So I'm going to turn off my camera though, just to help with my bandwidth, because I'm live in this class and I don't want anything to slow down. If you have any questions, then just let me know. If I'm going too fast, let me know and we'll stop and answer whatever questions you have, okay? So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, so the FamilySearch catalog, I believe, is an amazing tool to help with your family history research. Getting to know the catalog and understanding what's in the catalog is a little bit difficult because there's a lot of information in the FamilySearch catalog. So we're going to go through this today and show you how to search the catalog. We're also going to introduce you to the FamilySearch catalog and the FamilySearch library catalog and discuss what their differences are. And I'm going to demonstrate how to use both. And then we're going to talk about and highlight some of the features that are on the catalog. Okay, but the majority of the time, I want us to focus on the FamilySearch catalog because the new FamilySearch library catalog will eventually be merged into the FamilySearch catalog. So I want to show you how to use this catalog. So to get to the FamilySearch catalog, you will sign in. You will go to FamilySearch.org. And I'm going to zoom up on my screen a little bit just so it's easier to see. Hopefully that's not too big. You'll go to FamilySearch.org and you will sign in. And this is your main homepage here. And you'll go to search. So there's these tabs up at the top. You'll go to the search tab. And then you'll come down to where it says catalog.
I've never seen that thing.
Okay. So this is where the FamilySearch catalog is. So all of the collections that FamilySearch has, either digitally or physically, are cataloged here and in the new catalog. So let's talk about that a little bit, okay? Notice at the top right here, there's this little banner that says a new update to the FamilySearch catalog. I'm going to click on Learn More. This is where you can come to get the latest blog of what's happening with the FamilySearch catalog. Okay, so basically in a nutshell, the FamilySearch catalog that we're used to is 25 years old, and it's no longer supported by the original company where we purchased it. So we're in the process of replacing that outdated system with this new system that we have. But this is a huge task. So it's going to take some time before we're able to merge these two systems together. So in the meantime, we have two catalogs. This catalog that we're used to using has not been updated since September 2022. So even though we're receiving new books and digital content, we are not updating this catalog with that new content, this FamilySearch catalog. It's being put into the new FamilySearch library catalog, which I'm going to show you how to get to that in a little bit. But just to make it a little confusing, I hope I'm not confusing you too much, we are starting to merge the two. So this is where you're going to be able to see some of the new updates. So this is letting you know that one of the newest updates you're going to notice right now is the place standards.
What is this?
So the place standards, it tells you right here, this is the most noticeable change. This update uses the newest FamilySearch place standards. The place standards provide a consistent experience for how place information is organized and presented. And the places have to be updated regularly since place names around the world are changing all the time. Okay. One of the benefits, it tells you down here, of this new catalog is that the new system is going to give you more precise search results. And it's going to be sorted better. So if you did a place search for China, it's not just going to give you China collections in English, it's going to now give you China collections in English and Chinese. So this new place search is going to give you a more precise result in the collections that are available at FamilySearch. Also, FamilySearch loves your feedback. If you go into the new catalog or this catalog and you find something that is just way off and not cataloged right, or the names are wrong or something, place on at the bottom of each catalog page, which I'll show you, where you can give feedback and say, oh, something's messed up here. Can you guys fix this? Or this was not labeled right, or this was not easy to search. Whatever you want to say, we love your feedback because they're going to make changes and notice things because of your feedback, especially in the new catalog. Okay, so that's kind of a little bit of an explanation as to why we have two catalogs. And that's what this little banner is up here. So again, we went to search, and then we went to catalog to get to this page. Okay, now there are 8 ways that we can search the FamilySearch catalog. There is the place right here, surnames, titles, author, subjects, keywords, and if you have the call number or the film number, which is sometimes called the microfiche number or the DGS number, the image group number. If you already have those things, you can use that information to search in the catalog. Okay, so the place search, this first one right here, is the most commonly used search in FamilySearch catalog, because this search allows you to search for all of the records that are associated with a specific jurisdiction. So a jurisdiction is basically the entity where the records were created or where they're currently being maintained. For example, if I am a city, I might be the city might be in charge of directories, or maybe even church records if it's a town. Or if I'm the federal government, I'm going to be in charge of census records. Or if I'm the state, I'm going to be in charge of the state census records. So those are just a few examples. So our catalog is organized by those places that are managing the records, which we call jurisdictions, okay? When you type in place, you can type whatever you want. So I want to look for Gibson City, Gibson County, Tennessee. I can type in just Gibson. I don't have to capitalize it. I don't have to add a comma and a space to make it official. I can just type in Gibson. Well, I do have to do a space. I take that back if it's a separate word. But notice that as I'm typing, our place standard is pulling up some suggestions for us. The more information that I give it, the more places will pull up that are accurate to what I'm looking for. If I just say Tennessee in here, then I'm going to get a lot of Tennessee. And it's going to give me other areas, not just the state of Tennessee, but it's going to give me cities or counties that are Tennessee. So whatever I put in this search is going to determine what pulls up below me in this place standard bar. Now, if I just put in Gibson, Tennessee, and I just kind of just do TENN, and I don't pick one of these, if I just click outside the box, a lot of times it will automatically fill in what they think it is. So, and it may not be right. Or let me show you, if I do Gibson, or if I just click out of the box, well, it's going to keep giving me what they think it is. Gibson. Nope, it's going to keep filling it in. So basically what I want to show is just pay attention. It's best to just pick it yourself. So if I say Gibson, Tennessee, if I look down here, it's best for me to just take my mouse and choose the actual place, just so I can make sure that it does populate the place that I want it to find, okay? Does someone have a question? No, okay. So right here, also I want you to notice availability. Now this is, if we click on this, this is going to give me any collection, no matter what, whether it's in a library, whether it's online, it's going to give me all of them. If I want what's only online, I can click on this. But if I'm in a Family Search Center and I want to see what does the Family Search Center have, I can click Family Search Center. And then I can use this drop-down menu to change and choose the Family Search Center that I am searching in. Because each Family Search Center has their own unique set of copies of different things. So this is just something great to be aware of if you are, especially if you're traveling, especially if you travel downtown to the Family Search Library. It's nice to do this Family Search Center and see what's available here while I'm here, so that I don't have to look at things that I could already look at while I'm at home. Okay, but I'm going to just click on any for the sake of giving a demonstration, and then we're going to click on search. Now I got no results for Gibson, Tennessee. So there's a couple of reasons for that. It could be that I spelled it wrong, that my location that I'm looking for is not spelled correctly, especially if I'm in other countries or other languages. I may have done something wrong, or this just basically means that Family Search does not currently have any records that are cataloged that are currently being maintained by the city of Gibson. So the records could be elsewhere. This does not mean that there are no records. This just means that there are no records currently cataloged by Family Search under this jurisdiction, okay? Now, you'll notice up here in notes, there is two links, one that says place information and one that says part of United States, Tennessee, Gibson. If I click on this, it's going to take me to the county of Gibson. And now it's given me several collections or several locations in the county of Gibson that I can search in and see what collections they have. Okay, so right here, this list is being organized alphabetically by the record type. And keep in mind that this is in Gibson County. This is where I'm at. Now, if I click on this link, this is showing me places within Gibson County. So it doesn't have Gibson City, but it does have some other cities that we do have collections in. So it's good to know this just in case you're dealing with any border changes, that maybe my ancestor really didn't live in Gibson City. Maybe the border changed and it was actually called something else at the time. So just keep in mind that up here at the top in notes, you can go to part of the area you're searching in, which takes you bigger. So it takes you into the jurisdiction that's larger, or you can go to places within, which takes you to the jurisdiction that's smaller, but it keeps you in the area that you're searching for. Okay. Now these numbers that are next to these collections, or these record types, I should say, this is telling me how many collections there are in that record type. So this has 11 court record collections, or 1 or 2. So that's what these numbers are. Okay. Now, if I click on United States, Tennessee, so let's just look at cemeteries, census, just kind of keep an eye on these numbers. Now I'm just going to come up here and say part of Tennessee. Notice that my census has gotten a lot bigger. My court records have increased to 38 instead of 11. And I have a lot more choices because this is organized by record type in that jurisdiction. So this is giving me a list of records that are being maintained and managed by the state of Tennessee. Now, if I go even larger and I go to the United States, I'm going to get a whole different list and a lot more collections to choose from, because these are all of the collections that are being managed by the federal government, by the United States. Okay, so that's how the catalog is organized, is by jurisdiction when you're searching for place. Now let me update this again, and let me just take you back to Gibson County. Okay, let's go to land and property. Now notice that this is showing me nine collections that are available in land and property. These are the collection titles, and some of these collections are different colors. So the reason for that is I've recently looked in these collections, but I haven't recently looked in these. So it's kind of nice when it changes the color for us, because it helps us stay organized in where have we already been. Oh, I've already been to this collection, so I don't need to go back there. Let me try this one because I haven't seen this one yet. So it's just a great thing to notice that color to help you organize where you've been. But let's just click on the top one so I can show you how these collections are organized once you go into it. Okay, so each collection, it looks very, very similar to this. There's a little bit of difference, which I'm going to show you a couple of examples, but there is always at the top a description of the collection. This is where you're going to be able to see who the author was, what the format of this particular collection is, what language it's in, publication information, and the physical description. So for example, this collection is one microfilm reel. And here's the author of the collection. Okay, right here in notes, you will either find a link to a digital book, and we're going to talk about that in a second, or you'll find this link right here, which this link will take you to the World Catalog and will allow you to look for other possible copies that might be in a different area than FamilySearch. Okay. This right here, these subjects, these are basically, how can I put this? They're tags. They're search terms. So if I'm using the subject land and property, then land and property is a search term, and this collection is going to pull up as one of those in one of those search terms as the result of that search. Okay. Now, always make sure that you scroll down to the bottom where film and digital notes are, because this is going to tell you where it's at. How can I access this? So if I am interested in looking at auto registrations from 1909 to 1919 in Gibson County, Tennessee, then this is where I'm going to be told where to go to find it. So this is telling me that it is located at the Family History Library, United States and Canada, 2nd floor, film. Here's the film number. But it's also giving me this little camera. So this camera icon means that I can browse these images online. I don't have to be in the library. I don't have to pull out the film. So I don't want to click over here to browse it, because that's just going to take me to a map that tells me where the Family History Library is. I want to click on this camera, okay? Clicking on this camera allows me to actually view and see the images and look at the microfilm as if I was in the library looking at the film. Okay. Now, let me just go back. This particular collection is not searchable by name. If it was, a little icon right here next to this that looks like a magnifying glass would show up. And that means that it's not only digitized, but it's also indexed. So this particular collection is only digitized. It only allows me to see the film, and I am going to have to go page by page to look for what I'm trying to find. Now this up here will tell you how many images there are that you're searching in this collection. There's 105. And oftentimes keep in mind that there is usually at the beginning some sort of index that will tell you what page to go to. So if I'm looking for Lily Smith, then her registration is on page 28. So I can go to this little square. This allows me to browse the multiple images again. So I was right here. All of these pages are most likely alphabetized index of this collection. But now I can scroll down and I can start looking for page 28. So there's page 32. I can either come back out and just double click on another page, but here's 28, or I can change the image by these arrows. But here's Lily Smith and here's her information. So although it's not indexed, it is fairly easy to search some of these microfilm collections because the index is built in. But there are different ways that it's indexed. So I want to just show you that as well. So let's go back out to the catalog. And I'm going to go right here back to my search results. And I'm going to come back here to land and property. And I'm going to look at this one, deed records. I've got this description again, but this time it's telling me that this is a physical collection of 33 microfilm reels. So keep that in mind because that's a lot. And we want to make sure that we're looking at all of them or looking at different types that are in this collection. Because sometimes I'm going to scroll down here. Sometimes down here at the bottom, it will have multiple pages to arrow through in a collection that you're in. So this one doesn't. So this one is showing us what's in each microfilm reel. But just pay attention that if it's a very large one, if you come up here and you notice that this says 100 and something reels, then pay attention to what's in these reels. And let me tell you why. Because right here in this collection, at the beginning, there are 2 different microfilm reels that have the index to these deeds. And this is telling you the date range. Okay, so if I'm looking for a deed that's in 1870, I don't really need to look in this one because this doesn't cover 1870. I'm going to look at this index and notice that this is digitized, so I can browse these images. If I click on this, this is going to take me to an alphabetized index, and they're usually separated for land deeds by grantor or grantee. So if your ancestor was the grantor, the one that sold the land, it would be listed alphabetically this way. If they were the grantee, then you would need to find the portion of the index that has the grantees listed alphabetically. Okay, so that's usually, notice that this is 640 pages. So usually in the same index, as you scroll down, you will find the grantees listed alphabetically. Okay, but I'm not going to show you that yet. Let me just show you back up to one of these. Not only does this give you the name alphabetically, then it also tells you, let me zoom up, the book, the page, and the kind of instrument, basically that this is a deed. Okay, now I'm not sure what this book is, L-I. I'm not sure on that one. Let's see if we've got an, oh, this is, so they must be lettered. They're volumes by letters, that's L. Okay, so you kind of just have to get to know it because there's not just one set standard of how the indexes look. You have to play around a little bit and get to know how did they organize this. So this is in book L, page 201. Now I'm not going to find book L, page 201 in this microfilm reel because this microfilm reel is only an index. That's it. If I want to find book L, page 201, I need to come down here to the deeds where it's telling me volume L through M. I'm in the right year range, although I said 1870. But I click on here. And this is where I'm going to find the actual deed. And then I can go and double click on it and look for the page that's going to be in the top corner right here. Okay, so this is where the actual original record is going to be. Now keep in mind, every catalog, every collection is cataloged differently depending on the collection that we had. So this one is not just deeds. Let me go back up to the top. This is saying deed records and index to deeds. This is a great clue because it also gives us a date range if this is something worth looking in. But if we're not aware that at the end of this, there are also trust deeds on this, which is basically a deed, a loan that with your property as collateral. So we may not have realized that there's trust deeds in this collection. So that's why it's important to really look at what is actually in the collection, okay? So let's go back to search results. And I'm going to go to history. And I'm going to show you a different type you'll see, okay? Now, in this one, this is the history of Gibson County. Again, I'm getting the full description. I'm being shown that this is an illustrated book. It's got 583 pages to this book. Now, this red link right here, this is where you would click. When you see this, to view a digital version of this item, click here. What this means is this is a book that you can also find if you go to search and books. So this is a book that we've digitized that is also located in books. We've also cataloged it. This will tell you where the physical copy is if you don't want to look at the digitized version. And it will tell you that it is available on the 3rd floor. These are 2 copies of it. One of them is in an offsite storage. One of them is in the 3rd floor, but they've also digitized it. So if I click here, this is going to take me to the book. And this said that the description was an illustrated book. That means there's going to be pictures in it. If I want to look at it, I can just click view inside. And this is going to take us to our image digital book browser that allows me to go page by page in the book. So if I take my mouse, I don't know if you can see it because it's dark. Right here on the side, you'll see this little arrow pop up. This is where I can go page by page and look at what's in the book. Okay, but I can also search within this book. So if I have something that I want to find, I can go up here to search, and I don't know if there's going to be this there, but let's just say maybe there's going to be something about a river, or we can even search surname. I can do search, and I can put whatever term that I want and click OK, and it's going to tell me what page that is listed on. If I click on this, it takes me to that page and then highlights where on that page it's mentioned. Okay. So we're not talking about books today. I don't want to go in too much depth since we're talking about the catalog, but I did just want to show you that that's how you can get to these books from the catalog. Okay. If you see this red link, click here, and you see that this is a physical description of a 583-page illustrated book, then you know it's going to take you into the books. Okay. Now let's go back to land. And I forgot to show you this one because this just happens to be a great example. So this one is, it's going to tell us that it has 81 leaves illustrated, which is basically books, or it could be a very, very large book. And it's got some maps and facsims and illustrations. Okay. This is telling you 2 places. There is a copy with the call number on the 3rd floor that's available. It is also microfilmed on the 2nd floor, but notice that this looks different than what we've been seeing. We were seeing a small camera. This is a microfilm reel, which means that this is available on microfilm at the FamilySearch Center. This is not something that I can view online. So I either have to view it by looking at the book or coming to the center and viewing it by pulling this film and looking at the film. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways that you can view these collections that you'll find. The nice thing about paying attention to the titles and the author is that you can look at the date range and you can see, is this really something that I need to even look at or pay attention to? Is it really related to what I'm looking for? Okay, so that's place search. Let's just go over a little bit of the surname. If I have a family member with the last name of Shirts, this is just an example, then if I type in a surname, then it's going to give me the results of all of the collections that have been tagged with the surname of Shirts. Now, does that mean that every single person has been indexed and tagged? No. That just means that if there is a history of your family or something dealing with your family member, your family name, your surname, then it's been tagged. If it's a large collection of the same surname, it's been tagged with that surname. So in this example, there is a history of Peter Shirts. And if I click on this, then notice right here that the subject surnames, it's giving some of the different spellings of this surname. That's why it pulled up, is because it was tagged, because this is a large collection all about the Shirt family. It is on microfilm, and I can only view it on microfilm at the Family Search Center. So I can't see this one digitally. Okay. Now, another thing I want to point out while we're here is right here to the right, there is an Add to Print List button. If I click on this, this is going to add it to this catalog print list. Now, I already had something in there because I was just playing around with this. If I want to view my catalog print list, I will click on this link and it's going to show me what I've put in this print list. Okay. If it is a book, it's going to also give me the call number. It didn't give me the film number though. So remember, History of Peter Shirts was on film only, and it didn't give me that film number. So if I do this, I would need to print it and then write that in somewhere so that I know what the film number is. Okay. Now, one downfall to this is that this print list will go away as soon as I'm logged out. But the new Family Search Library Catalog does allow you to save your lists that you're creating if you're doing a lot of research in a certain area, which we will talk about that. Okay. So let's go back to search results. So that's how you can search by surname. You can also search by title. Now this will be that you are going to need to put in exact parts of the title. Okay. So if I'm looking for History of Peter Shirts, I can put in History of Peter and I can update this. And it's going to give me a whole bunch of results, a lot. See all these pages? I can also put in Peter Shirts and update this. And now it's a lot better. So if I put in the exact title that I'm looking for, it's going to help with lessening what the results are. But if I don't know the exact title, then unfortunately, you're going to get kind of a bigger list. Okay. You can also search by author. So if I want to search for a genealogical society, I can do that here, or any author. You can search by subject. So let me just give you an example. Let's say I want to search for vital records and I hit update. It's going to give me a lot. It's going to probably think for a little while, but it's going to give me a lot of vital records all over the place. But this is where I want to show you that you can also combine searches. So if I come up here to place and I want all the vital records of Tennessee and I hit update, my list is a lot smaller and now it's just giving me vital records of Tennessee. Now, why is it pulling up genealogy? Why is it pulling up Bible records, newspapers? Because these collections have been tagged. If I click into one of these, well, obviously obituaries is part of a vital record, but just to show you, here's those tags that we talked about. It was tagged as a vital record in Tennessee. And that's why it's pulling up. So it just is a little helpful for you to understand what to search for and what might pull up and what might not pull up. Okay, keywords is a lot more of an open search. You can really search anything here. It doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to go by a certain place. You can search a surname. You can search what you think the title is. If I want to see what do you have out there about the Mayflower, then you can search anything you want with keywords. Okay. If your results are too big, we also give you the option over here to sort those results by year, or you can sort them by categories, availability, and language. So whenever the results come up too big, we give you some options so you don't have to sift through 3,000 results. And then we also have a call number search, a film, fish, and image group number search, which is self-explanatory. If you've got the call number, you can put it here and it will pull it up. And if you've got the film number, you can put it here and it will pull it up. Okay, so that's the catalog in a nutshell. Let me show you where we go for the new FamilySearch catalog. All right, so let me just close this one and this one. All right, so FamilySearch.org/library. Let me just type it for you. So you can see FamilySearch.org/library. This is going to take you to our main FamilySearch library page. That's different than FamilySearch.org, which is your tree and historical records and other things. This is all things dealing with the library, where you can reserve, you can get research help, learning resources, and other things, okay? If I go up here at the top to collection, and I go to our catalogs, this is where I'm going to be able to see the different FamilySearch catalogs. There's 2 catalogs. Search the library catalog. That's the new one. Search the FamilySearch catalog. This is the one that was last updated September 2022. Okay. So one thing to note here too is that this is also going to give you some information on how do I search the FamilySearch library catalog. So if you don't remember, if we've talked about it here and you're not quite sure, that's okay. You can click on this and this is going to remind you. You can search by keyword, by title, author, subject. You can also search by format, locality, surname, and topic. If I want to look at additional features, then this is going to give me what features does this catalog actually have. Okay, let's go into it and we'll talk about it because it looks a lot different than our other catalog. Can be a little bit confusing if you're not familiar with it. Some people love it, some people absolutely hate it. But the good news is this is not going to stay the main updated catalog. We're going to be merging this into the catalog you're used to, although this will still be there as well. Let's just talk about this a little bit. So this is the main home page of this library catalog. Now you do need to sign in if there's a couple of things that you can do with your sign in. Because you can still search the catalog without a sign in, but if you want to save your searches, then you'll want to sign in. And there's a couple of other collections that you'll be able to see if you sign in. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and sign in, and I can say sign in with FamilySearch, and that's just going to be my FamilySearch login, and automatically did it because I was already logged into it. So it connected to it. And notice that this page looks a lot different than what we were just looking at. Well, that's because this is where your saved lists and your saved searches will be, which is kind of handy. Okay, but if I want to go back, then I just click on this little home button right here in this top left corner, and this will take me to the home page of the FamilySearch library catalog, the library catalog. Okay, now notice that this is starting to pull up things that are in my list. So it's giving me my list, it's giving me new books, beginner research, which is kind of nice. So this is all the new latest things that have just recently been digitized. It's kind of fun to go through this and scroll through this and see what have we been working on. Okay, this is beginner research help. There's a lot of wonderful tools here to help you with your research. We also have heritage collections where you can find nationality books on nationality research. And we also have spotlight collections, which are basically ones that I'm not actually sure why they've spotlighted these. I don't know if it's the ones that are most searched or if it's just a random pick, but this is spotlight collections. So it's either most searched or something that they feel like would be very useful for you. So they're spotlighting it. Now notice as I go through these, if I click on new books, there's nothing that pulls up underneath here. If I click on beginner research, I'm given some more options. So if I'm researching in US and Canada, if I'm researching in East Asia, I can choose so that it specifies what books I want it to show me that's a beginner research. So if I go US and Canada, then it's going to give me a list of new beginner research books, or it could be old. I don't mean to say just new. That's only if I was in new books. So let me just talk about some of the advantages of this. So advantages to the new FamilySearch catalog is we can create lists. We can search for books that are nearby us, and I'm going to show you that. This list, this catalog, which is just really great feature of it, is integrated with the FamilySearch wiki. And that is just amazing. And I'm going to show you why. It also has all of the updated information. It has citations in multiple formats. This also has direct links to digital books, and there's fewer clicks than the other catalog to get to it. But I do want to talk about a few disadvantages, and this is why there's some that love it and some that don't. This is not connected to an image viewer. So in the other catalog, we were able to go directly to the images. This one we can't. This one also has a learning curve because it's brand new, and it's a little bit, it takes some getting used to. This one has much broader search results, but there are a lot of filters that you're going to be able to use to help you narrow it down. The other kind of annoying feature to this, which I don't mean to be negative about, is it does have a very rapid timeout. So if you're not actively in here searching and using it, you're going to get timed out pretty quickly. Okay. Now, neither catalog is fully integrated with images though, but it is coming. But the older catalog does have a full integration of, or not full, but does have a connection to the images. But all of these things are coming and changing. Okay, so right over here, if you click on this little 3 hamburger, we call it the hamburger, this is going to give you some options that you want to be aware of. This is going to take you right to your account, the library homepage. It's going to take you to the FamilySearch library. It's going to give you information about visiting the FamilySearch library, donations, research help, and some other options on your display of how you want to display this. So it gives you a way to personalize, like language, different languages. Oh, that's down here. But it also lets you take things off or put things on. Another thing that's different about this is we can use advanced search terms. So I can say Tennessee and vital records. Okay, so I can add this and it's going to give me everything that's in Tennessee that is also vital record. Or I can say, or I can use or as an advanced search term. It's going to either search this or this. Or I can use the term not. Tennessee not vital records. So there's 3 advanced search terms we can use: and, or, and not. So that will pull up all of the records in Tennessee, but no vital records. Okay. So it's kind of nice to know that we do have these advanced search terms as an option. Now, right here, this is where I can change the way I want to search it. I can do a keyword, title, start of a title, so it's a little more detailed, series, author, there's a lot of searches. Now, notice there is no film, but We can still search by a film, but if we go to call number, the call number is also film. It will pull in the film or the call number. Okay, I can also do an advanced search, but before I go in to show you these, let me also show you this one. Now this one is showing you that I want to search what's in the library catalog. I want to search what's in my list if I have a very long list that I've started, or I want to search in library website. Now this is where it's going to connect us to the FamilySearch wiki, which is just wonderful. So if I'm going to look for Tennessee Gibson, which I don't have to do that comma like I just was about to start doing. It's just a habit. I can, again, type in whatever place, and notice I'm in keyword right here. There is no place. That's the other thing that I didn't pull out. It's in advanced search. But I'm going to stay on keyword. Keyword is very open and it's not specific. So you can find place, you can find everything if you just go to keyword, okay? So I'm going to come back here and start that again. So it will show you the drop down. Now it's giving me some options that I can use. I've got Tennessee Gibson maps, land and property, register of deeds, court, and other things. So I'm just going to pick one of these. Well, since we were looking at land, I'll just say land and property. Now I've got in the library catalog. Let's look at what that shows me. Okay. This is going to show search results a little bit different than what you're used to. Over here is where you're going to be able to narrow down your results by locality, surname, organization. So every type of search, you can narrow it down over here. It automatically populates for you, which is kind of nice. The author, the format, if I want to just look at books, microfiche, online, periodicals, microfilm, e-content. So if it's on the web, any e-content that's available in this topic. I can also go to all results, available at the library, available online. Okay. I can sort my results by these options. Whatever the call number is, or by best match. I can also hide. These are cover. If there is a cover available, an image, it will show up here. I can hide those if I don't want to see them, or I can show those. Now this is already giving me my results in a way out here. Okay. So right here, this is going to either say microfiche or book. I don't have to click into the collection to know what format this is in. This is a microfiche. This one's a book. This one's a microfilm. If I click on this, this is going to give me information about it. So if I click on microfiche, this is going to take me into the collection. It's going to tell me the fiche number. It's called film number. And notice that's under the call number section, which is why I say you can look up film numbers or fiche numbers under call number. It's going to give me some information about where it's located in the library. And it's going to tell me if it's available here. Okay. There's other information that this is going to give you down here about what it contains. What does this collection contain? And it's going to tell me down here more information about it. This is land ownership maps. And that's why this is so large, because I didn't specify exactly which location. I can add this to my list if this is what I like. I can share it. And I can find out more information right here about it. So this is telling me how many microfiches this collection is, some of the possible places of where it's at. Right here is where I can return to my search results. So let's go back. And I'm trying to hurry through this part because I want to give you some time if you have any questions. And so if I go into book, that's going to give me the book information. But notice that I've also got it here. There's the call number to the book. It's telling me one's available. It's on the 3rd floor. A lot of the information I need is already out in here. Now, if I click on more information, this is going to tell me more about this collection. It's taking me to that same page we just were. And it also gives you some suggestions of other collections that are like this one. Okay, So that's kind of a brief overview of this. You'll want to play around with it, but I just want to show you on the wiki. So if we go to in website on the wiki, this connects you to the wiki. No results are found for this one. So let's make it more general. Whoops, if I can spell. And in website and search. So now this is taking me to the best match. It's going off of past searches that I've done. I can change it to title, but it's also giving me more things to explore. But I would need to give it, let's go back. Whoops, not here. Let's go here. We'll go United States. And I'm just picking on Tennessee just because. And I want to go in website. And it's not pulling up any results for that one. So I guess I can't demonstrate this one. But know that this is available. This is going to connect you strictly to books or microfilm or collections that are on the FamilySearch wiki. So this is just another term and way for you to search what you're looking for. Now, remember, this is new and it's not perfect. So if we are in one of these collections and we notice that something is off or something is not working, then we need to give them information. We need to give them feedback. Okay. So on any page that you're located on, if you come down here to contact us or on some of, let me go back to the old catalog to show you. Right. I had one of those open. Nope. It's going to show up either at the very bottom of contact us, or you're going to see something pop up here that says feedback. Okay, so if I go here, let's just pick a random collection. And this one didn't give me one. So sometimes you'll notice it will say feedback right here, or you just go right here to contact us. And when you click on that, you choose the region, you choose the area, and you let them, and this is where you can give them feedback about this, about the page and what's wrong with it or what's right with it or anything that you want to discuss about it, even ideas that you have. They're open to new ideas as well. Okay, so we're kind of run out of time, and I'm sorry I took it all up. So I want to answer any questions that you guys might have. Do you have any questions about these?
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.